The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
I'm going to give you a piece of my mind on this week's edition of Liberty at Home. Welcome back. Pastor Adam Riveiro here with another episode of Liberty at Home, brought to you by the church that I pastor, the Liberty Baptist Church here in Easton. Today, as always, we're broadcasting from Easton Community Access Television, the only news organization covering Easton news. And you really ought to watch the weekly Easton News broadcast. They do a great job. But that being said, let's get to this program today, which we're on the 29th chapter of Proverbs. So we'll be reading both the 11th and the 22nd verses, which say this: A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. And then verse 22, An angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression. Doesn't it feel good to give someone a piece of your mind? That aggravating neighbor that uses their leaf blower before 7 in the morning? That customer service rep on the phone that tells you how important your business is, all while ignoring your concerns. Or that guy in the car in front of you going 15 miles an hour under the speed limit? Look, they'll have it coming, right? And let's be honest, there's something instantly gratifying about giving someone a piece of your mind, like a hit of dopamine that rewards you for running your mouth. In fact, I'd argue that there are times that it feels like it's the only course of action to give someone a piece of your mind. It was Mark Twain who famously said, when you're mad, it's better to give a piece of your mind than a piece of your fist. So really, chewing someone out isn't a bad thing. It actually is the most reasonable course of action, right? Well, no, it's absolutely wrong. Today's text tells us that when we think the opportunity arises for us to chew someone out, we'd be much better off holding our tongue. The first verse we read together said that a fool utters all his mind, but a wise man keeps it in until afterwards. While it might feel good letting someone have it, King Solomon gives us a clear warning that this type of behavior is counterproductive. As the old saying goes, it's better to keep your mouth shut and be thought a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. Now listen, this doesn't mean that the truth should be silenced and that a Christian should just roll over and play dead when dealing with a difficult situation. Quite the contrary. What it does mean, however, is that the wisest course of action is to make sure your mind and your ears are fully engaged before your mouth is. To respond to a situation with irritability or irrationality is the opposite of what we're told in the Beatitudes. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Now, understand this. There are some people who just don't want peace. And that's why Paul said in Romans chapter 12, verse 18, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. That phrase, as much as lieth in you, is important because it may not be possible to make peace with everyone. In fact, verse 22 that we just read makes reference to these types of angry and furious people. Yet the Bible commands that we, on the other hand, can be peaceable people, even if we have to speak hard or difficult truths that other people don't want to hear. Is it difficult? Yes. Can we succeed with God's help? Absolutely. So the next time you deal with the doctor's office and it's the 4th time you've talked to them and they say they've sent the referral to a specialist, but you know they haven't, you're tired of dealing with them and you're pretty sure someone should get fired. Anyway, as I was saying, let's listen more than we speak and be more willing to share a part of our heart with someone than giving them a piece of our mind. Well, another episode of Liberty at Home is in the books, but before we go, I want to give you a weekly reminder that we'd love to have you visit Liberty Baptist Church this week. We have services on Sundays and Wednesdays, so there's always a good time for you to visit. We meet at 800 Washington Street, right across from Easton Pool and Spa on Route 138. You can also find all of our digital platforms through our website, mylibertybaptist.org. Well, this is Pastor Adam Riveiro signing off with a reminder that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. See you next week for another dose of biblical truth on Liberty at Home.